I know we all want to talk about quarterback. We'll have that decision for you. We're going to go through a process with our players and obviously our staff. Quick turnaround from yesterday, so we'll let you know when that's been done. But overall, good day yesterday outside of Justice's injury, and we continue to make progress as a football team.
What are you going to need to see at quarterback? I mean, a lot of people are just assuming it's going to be Graham. I mean, Graham transferred here; he's got 32 starts.
Yeah, we've seen enough. I think the big thing is we want to go through a process with our players and team before we announce to the media, if that makes sense. So, and you know, we're on schedule, and we'll get that accomplished, and we'll let you know.
Billy, how do you feel like the offensive line played in the scrimmage with Richie out and Mazuka back, and just where you feel like that unit's at?
You know, I feel really good about, I would say, the depth in the interior. You know, I think we've got a handful of really good players. I think the first two tackles are really good players, and then I think it's all about who's the third tackle. That's why it's exciting to get Lindell back.
Yep.
I think we have some talented young players that are starting to come alive. Jalen Farmer in particular, I think he's starting to practice. You know, I think it's starting to, the dots are connecting there.
Mm-hmm.
Bryce Lovett, Jordan Herman, you know, those are the guys that we need to come on. I like Richie Leonard, I like Slaughter. So I think we have less issues on the interior and more on the perimeter. That's where we have competition and we need growth, you know, to develop depth on our team.
And then how do you feel about just the execution on both sides of the ball overall in the scrimmage? Did you feel like it was maybe cleaner than in the spring? How did you feel about some of those aspects?
Yeah, there's no doubt. I mean, just in terms of the precision, you know, the film is cleaner. You know, I do think some of the players we were without affected the quality of the twos, in my opinion.
Sure.
You know, because of the depth. But there's a mixture of lineups out there with those groups. But I think when we put our first group out there, it's starting to look what it's supposed to look like. And then don't get me wrong. I mean, there's a lot of players in that second group that do a really good job. I just think we had a handful of players out that affected the depth, the quality of the scrimmage in that regard.